Hi everyone, this is Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're a new viewer, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, huge welcome back. I'm so glad you guys are here. So, do a quick little video update here. Exciting things ahead right now. I'm sure you've noticed if you are a huge Advent follower, but if you are not, let me just share this exciting news with you. So if you are on Instagram and follow anything yarn related on Instagram, for example, you will probably see a lot of indie dyers posting about their Advents being shipped out, which is what I'm doing as well. So I currently have started shipping out Advents, which is super exciting. And I wanted to share with you guys that I just have a couple left. So if you do want the 2022 Advents, they are going to be, I'm switching over the listing actually currently to the title. I'm just changing the title, that it is not going to be a pre-order anymore. It's actually going to be a ready to ship item. So I wanted to let you guys know that they are ready to go. They will be shipped out. If you place your order, I will ship it out right away. I'm not waiting anymore. They're not pre-orders. So yeah, if you happen to hop on there and it still says pre-order, I will ship it out as soon as you order it, because I said the last week of October, first week of November, and I am shipping them, which is, it's very exciting. That was my goal, and I'm really grateful that I was able to achieve that. So so it's a great gift if you want to give it as a gift to someone. It's a really special gift. Because I know they are not cheap, but there's a lot that goes into them, a lot of hard work, and they're so much fun. So I'll just give you guys a little glimpse. Believe me, no spoilers here. I do not want to spoil it for anyone. But there are also a couple Advents in the shop from last year that are non-superwash. So if you're looking for non-superwash yarn, because I know there are those of you out there that love the non-superwash, there are just a couple left from last year. So those are also available to ship right now. But this is the 2022 Advent. So I'm just going to give you a little glimpse into the box here. You are not going to see the colors, don't worry. If you don't want any, if you want to not have any idea what it looks like, look away, and if you just listen, I'll tell you when I'm back on, because I have no idea how to show timestamps. I'll try in the description below, but I don't know. I'm not good at that. So this is what you would get when you get the Advent. It's in the description also on the listing. So I'm not really giving too much away here, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a glimpse into what it looks like. So what you get when you open your box is 24 mini skeins that are all individually wrapped, which I also did mention that. They are also all hand stamped. So I did go through and hand stamp all of these with vintage stamps, and I'm really excited about that. I thought it was a really fun detail. Last time I hand wrote all the numbers last year, so this year I actually was able to invest in a really nice vintage stamp set, and that was kind of a fun detail. So they're all individually hand stamped, and then there's also, you can kind of see there's a special goodie that I add in here as well, because it's an extra thank you for your support. I know this is a fun investment for yourself or for someone else, but it's just an extra fun goodie for the holiday season. And then of course we have day 25, which is a full-size skein that I have tucked in here in the front. So they're all nice and bundled up in here. They fit nicely in this box, so you could leave it in the box under your tree if you'd like, and open like one a day starting December 1st. Or you can pull them all out and string them up and make yourself a little garland swag and hang them that way. Totally up to you, but I send them to you like this. So this is how, if I received it, this is how I would open it, and then I would just pull one out each day. But it's totally up to you. And there's also a nice little note in there that I give to you as well. So that's what you would get. That's part of your investment there. So I hope you guys are excited about it. If you do want to purchase one, make sure you hop on over to the multifariousnature.com. The link will be below directly to the Advent. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I say linked below, if you are on a phone, or even, I think even if you're on the computer, there's a little, if you scroll below the video and there's this ... and it should say more info or more and then ... or just ... click on that and it will give you the description. I put all kinds of details down there, and I also include links to things that I talk about. So It's really helpful. It helps you find things faster. You can totally Google it and look it up, or just go to multifariousnature.com. The main page, I have the advents right on that main page, so I try to make it easy for you guys, but I try to make it as easy as possible. It's a great gift, and not only for loved ones that love the fiber arts, but if you are a fiber enthusiast yourself, it's a great gift for yourself. So I wanted to share that with you guys because they are going fast. I only have a couple left, and I really want to make sure if you want one that you get one, so make sure you don't miss out. But I do want to talk about, so that's like the shop update end of things. I think that's all the shop update at the moment. Yes, I haven't been dyeing. I'm still trying to adjust to all the newness of living in our new home and just trying to get like a good schedule down. It's just really hard to dye during the week right now. I spend a lot more time driving, and it's just, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. I'll probably only be able to dye on the weekends, which is not a big deal, but the weekends have been spent with family or traveling or doing things. So one of these days I will start to dye because I have another color in mind that I really want to dye up. I have another knitting pattern I really want to do with these colors that I'm thinking of. So I'll get there eventually. Anyway, I appreciate your patience with me. So we'll get into our works in progress here, and actually I'm going to start with not a work in progress, a finished object. So I finished this. I promised you guys I would, and I'm grateful that I did because I've been wanting to get these done. This is a project I've been working on for a while now, and it's mainly because I keep putting it down, and I finally finished them. So this is the second pair of my L Shorty socks. I love this pattern. If you want a super fun sock pattern that's not just your typical, like they call it vanilla sock, where it's just knitting stockinette in the round. This is an excellent, fun one. So it has this really fun little slip stitch detailing on the heel, and then it has kind of almost because of the slip stitch detailing, I don't want to give it away, this is a paid for pattern, but because of the detailing on the body of the sock, it really gives it kind of this almost honeycombed effect. This colorway is my landscape colorway, which is a limited run colorway. I do have some currently in the shop, but once it's gone, they're gone. And then this one's pumpkin, which I can definitely dye up more if you want a custom order. I can definitely dye up more of it. This is on my 20-60-20 blend, which is 20% superwash merino, 60% or 20% superfine alpaca, 60% superwash merino, and then 20% nylon. So it's super, super soft and warm. And then this one is a merino nylon blend, so it's 75% superwash merino, 20%, 25% nylon. Yeah, so finally finished those. So I have a pair now. So excited. So I have another pair of these, and if you've been watching my prior videos, you are not wrong. The other pair is also done in my landscape colorway, and then you're not losing your mind. Actually, this is the Stellina base. I apologize. This is my merino nylon Stellina base. So it's actually superwash merino nylon and 5% Stellina in it. And then, yeah, it's the same base that I made my other one, but then my heels, toes, and cuffs I actually made, or my heels and toes, I used my dusk colorway. So that's the other pair that I made. So I actually did get 2 pairs of shorty socks out of the landscape. And then I still have this much left. And that was 1 skein of yarn. So if you ever are curious, like, can I get a pair of socks out of a skein of yarn? Now, granted, these are, like an 8.5 is the size shoe that I wear. So that's the size foot, but I easily got 2 pairs of shorties out of this. I mean, I used contrasting colors, but I mean, if I just did it all this colorway, I don't know if I would have been able to get 2 full pairs of socks out of it, but there's a decent amount still left. I could definitely use this as heels, toes, and cuffs on another pair of socks. I know that because I still have this much of my pumpkin colorway, and it was about this size when I started. And this was for the heels, toes, and cuffs of this. So a little goes a long way. You'd be surprised how little yarn it takes to make a really nice pair of socks. So to get those finished, which is awesome. So another project down, because I have so many projects I want to start. And I mean, Advent season is coming up here, so I want to work on that habitation throw with my Advent this year. And if you get one of my Advents, I would love it if you would do the habitation throw with me. Or you can do any fun, I mean, that's a blanket, so that's my first blanket. But you can knit anything or crochet anything, and definitely share and tag me in your projects, because I really love to see what you create. I just love it. So we'll get into the next work in progress here. Is Melanie Hoffman's Wild Posey sweater. I am using Plutolopi, which is an unspun yarn. And I failed, you guys. I did not put Progress Keeper on this one. I need to do that today so that I don't forget for next time. But I'm pretty positive, I am about 98% positive that I was around this area when I did a video last week. So this is that Wild Posey sweater. I am done with the yoke section. I have split for the sleeves. So I've done a lot of progress, and I am now working down the body. I'm going to do what I've done in prior Melody Hoffman patterns, and actually do it with a lot of sweater patterns. So this might give you guys a great idea. So if you're someone like myself who tends to like to add length to their sweaters, you don't want super cropped sweaters, I recommend, what I do is, for example, this one is in plates. So I'm just going to use the rest of this plate knitting the body, and then I have 2 more plates of Plutolopi. So that's the second plate. I have 4 for this sweater. And what I'm going to do is finish this plate, my second plate, working on the body, and then I'm going to just leave it, put the stitches on hold, and then I'm going to work the sleeves the length I want. So I'm going to use my whatever of my other 2 cakes, or I should say plates. I'm going to knit the length of the sleeves to the length that I would like, and then I will use whatever I have left. So every last little ounce that I have left, I will just use on the length of the body. That way I, one, won't waste the yarn, I'll use it all. And then I get the length that I want, because I like cozy sweaters that are long, because the whole point is to stay warm. And I live in Michigan and it's cold in the winter. So I prefer not to wear a cropped sweater in the winter. I would freeze. So that's the way I try to get the most out of my yarn, so that I use as much of it as possible, because even though I don't mind having these little like remnants that I can use for other things, especially with Plutolopi, it's unspun yarn. If you don't have a decent amount, it's hard to really do a project with it unless you do a scrappy like hat or something, and then, or mittens, and use like different colors of your unspun yarn together. I don't know, I've never done that. I just always usually do solids or color work with it. But just an idea to throw out there. That's what I do. I've done that for multiple sweaters now, and it worked really well, because for example, the I think it's the Pathways sweater by Melody Hoffman. I did that one in this type of method where I did the sleeves first and then the body, and I was mindful of how much yarn I had left over, but I held on to, like I said, the center pole areas of the Plutolopi. When it comes together and you take out those chunks, it's like these random sized pieces. They're not very big. Well, that's really good for any embroidery if you're doing embroidery with it. And so I use that for the embroidery on her sweater. And I use like basically every single bit of that yarn. I think I have it in my little, I have a scrap container, and I have like this little bitty ball left of the unspun yarn. You could not do anything with it except for like use it as stuffing in something, which I feel like that's the ultimate goal. So yeah, this is a really beautiful color. It's a deep blue. This color actually reminds me a lot of my Ocean's Deep colorway, which I wonder if I have it handy. I do have it handy. It's not the same, of course, but it reminds me a lot of it. So actually it looks a lot like it right here in this lighting. So this is Ocean's Deep. This is one of my colorways. It's really beautiful, deep blue. And it has a lot of depth and dimension, as well as this Plutolopi, which this colorway, wow, it matches quite well. That's impressive. Yeah, so you can get this online. I don't know if you can currently get it. I ordered it from Iceland. This was last year, and that's Elephos. It's elephos.com. If you Google it, you can find it. But that's where I got it from. They don't tend to have a lot in stock when it comes to Plutolopi. You can kind of get a little bit more usually if you go through yarn.com, which is a US store. But yeah, it's a very reasonably priced unspun yarn if you're looking for something like that. It's definitely on the rustic side, and by rustic, very prickly. So if you're sensitive to that, you may not like this. I don't mind it. I really don't. If I get really hot, it makes me itch, but otherwise it doesn't bother me. I do find that if people hug me and I'm wearing the sweater and they're sensitive to it, they'll say, "Oh, you're prickly." My brother told me that once. It was really funny. Like, "You're all prickly." But it's super warm, super warm. So I do recommend it as a nice, toasty, reasonably priced unspun yarn that you can get your hands on. So that's a Melly Hoffman pattern. So at this point, kind of like planning end of things and all of that. So like I said, I'm trying to wrap up a lot of my projects. I still have a couple I can see out of the corner of my eye, and a couple of those projects one of them I know I'm ripping back. I'm not going to finish it. I was working on it. It was a shawl, and it just didn't jive. I did not get committed to it after a while. I got kind of irritated with it, so that one's not going to happen. I have a 100% cotton. It's a bamboo cotton blend so I guess not 100% cotton, but it's a cotton bamboo blend. Kaboo is the brand of yarn, and it's I think Lion brand. Yeah, I was trying to make a really cute little summer top out of it, and it just hurts my hands a lot working with it. So I still have that set aside. It's crochet, it's not knitting, but I don't know if I'm actually going to finish it. I might just rip it back. I don't know. So that's another one I've got in lingering land there. I have kind of a hope blanket that I was working on. It's like a little baby blanket. I have that one set aside. I haven't worked on that in a while. I'm not going to rip that back though. I'm just going to work on it when I do. And then, yeah, the other one was a Stephen West shawl. It's the Boneyard shawl. I was working on that one. It's an acrylic, 100% acrylic yarn, just a big box brand. It's actually this yarn right here, but it's another ball of it. They're huge. It's like basically you can make a whole sweater with the amount of yarn that's there. So I was going to make a shawl out of it, and I was working on that. This was, oh my gosh, probably last year this time I was working on it. So I haven't worked on that in like a year, and I did not get very far on it. So I'm probably going to rip that one back too. I don't really see myself working on it. And if that's the case, then I'm caught up almost. I'm working on my one sweater that is the brioche sweater, all brioche, by Leslie Ann Robinson. It is the Coffee and Jewels sweater. Absolutely gorgeous. I haven't worked on it this week, but I need to be working on that too, because I'd like I said in the last video, I'd really like to wear that during the holidays. I think that'd be a fun holiday sweater. So I need to finish that one up. So otherwise, I'm really caught up, which is excellent, because I want to, like I said, work on the habitation throw with my Advent. I'm trying to think if there was another project I wanted to work on. Oh, yes. The other, which, by the way, I'm wearing my Forager. This is the Forager, Melly Hoffman's Forager sweater. This is in 100% merino wool by Stonehenge Fiber Mill up north in Michigan. So 100% merino wool. It's super, super soft. It's worsted weight. So I'm wearing that. I'm actually wanting to make another one because I love this pattern so much. It's an excellent, it's a raglan. It's your typical raglan. It's got this really nice ribbed cuff, and then it has the ribbed bottom. And I did not do the German twisted cast off, which now that I know how to do that, it's funny how when I look at some of these things that I didn't do that to, I really want to do that. So when I make the second one here, I'm definitely going to do that. I love the look to it. It gives it a really nice finished edge. It looks really, really nice. So I'm going to use my Nutiden that I got from Sweden. The Vivere colorway. It's gorgeous. It's like a Swiss chard inspired colorway. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to hold it double so it'll kind of marl it, and it's going to be really pretty. And that's what I'm going to do the forager out of, which I think is perfect because this is like the perfect backdrop canvas. Canvas is the word I'm looking for. Perfect canvas for using something that has some variegation to the colors. It'll really show off the colors, and it's a very nice canvas for that colorway. So that's one of the projects. So I have those two projects in particular, and then of course I also want to make, because I'm staring at the yarn in front of me here, my chestnut colorway here. Chestnut, which I actually need to take photos of and put in the shop. It's a really good reminder for myself. I don't currently have any dyed up in the shop. I have it dyed up for myself, but I would definitely make a custom. I have the blend written down and everything, so I could definitely dye this up if someone wants to order it. It's a beautiful color. It's called Chestnut. It's a very warm tonal brown. It has kind of a golden hue to it. It's beautiful. So I want to use this as my base colorway for Andrew Mowry's new cardigan. It's called the Big Cozy cardigan. I want to use this as the base, and then I still have yet to dye up the colorway that I want to use for the kind of shawl collar that would go around it. But I definitely want to keep it neutral, and I want to do, I'm pretty sure, a lighter color than this. Pretty sure. So either lighter or darker, but I'm leaning lighter. Not sure. What do you think? What's your vote? But I'm thinking a lighter colorway. So I'd love to hear what you guys are up to. I'd love to hear what you're working on. Are you excited for Advent season? I love Christmas. I love December. And November, actually. November and December. The weather can be brutal in Michigan. Like, we can get some serious snow and it can get really cold. But I love the season. I love holidays. I love what they stand for. And the meaning behind them. So if you guys also are excited about Advent season, if you've ordered Advents, I'd love to hear what Advents you've ordered. If you want to comment below, or if you haven't, or if you made your own, I'd love to hear about that too, because I do love that. I've seen multiple people that have made their own Advents out of little, like this. This is a perfect example. They would take this extra from a project, wrap it up, put it in a bag, and then they would have all these little presents to open up during December, and they wouldn't know which color, and then they just work with it. I think that's a great way to use up your small little bits of yarn. So I'd love to hear from you guys, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye.